Arsenal played one game a week last year. Relax, bro. I want to go into this because the super chats are kind of pushing us in that direction. We're going to go on to some of the other transfer rumors a little bit later, but you're really confident about Arsenal's season, Gunnar Lee.
Yeah, listen, I've said, and I can say it on here, I'm very certain that I feel like Arsenal getting top 4. I've said that Arsenal getting third, to be honest, and I tell you why. I tell you by default, I don't trust Chelsea at all. I feel like they are some of the things that we speak about with Tuchel. We think about the attack. We think about the fact that in the first season they scraped fourth, and yes, they got Champions League, but it's cup competitions. We think about last season; they didn't have a great season, and yes, look. We've spoken about the fact that they had issues with Roman before, but there are things that we can put towards Tuchel and kind of like put that towards him. But look, for me, I don't trust Chelsea at all. The attack we saw yesterday, we saw in the first game, we saw last season. It's not great. So that's another thing that I don't rate with the Chelsea lot. Man United, I don't even want to talk about them because I don't even think they're going to finish ninth, to be honest. And then you got Spurs. Sorry. When we think about Spurs, again, yeah, they're doing well, but for me, I've said before, most of their kind of transfers, I don't feel really move the needle. But not saying that you need to buy world class or like these massive players, but at the end of the day, I'm not that hyped on Conte. I feel like, again, some of the allegations and some of the things that he put against him, second season syndrome, Kulu, second season syndrome. So for me, I'm not sitting here praising Spurs, but I'm not looking down on them either. And I just think by default, and if you asked me before what I think about Arteta, I don't think he's going to take us to the promised land. I don't think this guy is an amazing manager, but do I think he's going to make steady improvements? Yes. Do I feel like he's going to be enough to get us to fourth or third? Yes. Do I think he's going to get us second or first? No. And as I said, by default, I feel like we're going to get into those higher positions.
And I need to ask you. Go on.
Wait, man. Ask away, bro.
Yeah, no, because this is sounding crazy to me right now. I haven't got Arsenal in the
top. This is wild.
I don't think that there is one chance. There's 0% chance that you get top 4 next season. And let me just break this down. As everyone has highlighted in the comment section, you played one game a week. Yeah. You're now going Thursday, Sunday. Let's take that into consideration. Your team hasn't improved a whole lot. You've got about three players really that you brought in that are going to move the needle. Zinchenko, Jesus, Vieira. The other players, who was it? Marquinhos,
yeah. The keeper, yeah.
And no one cares about. So those 3 players, they improve your team, but they don't take your team to the next level. Let's be honest. None of them are, apart from Jesus, is the striker you've been missing. Vieira and Zinchenko aren't amazing players. And yes, as you just said, you don't need amazing players to do that.
Yeah.
But your depth still has many problems. There's no Partey replacement once he gets injured. He's an injury-prone player. You haven't got a DM to come in and cover that position. You're going to have Xhaka, same stuff time and time again. You're going to be playing 2 games a week. You literally had injury problems playing 1 game a week. Imagine playing 2 games a week. This is going to put more pressure on those players, more pressure on this team. And Arteta just won't be able to handle that, I personally think. Yeah. You guys need more signings. I think you probably need 2 or 3 more players to even consider yourselves to get into this top 4, because 5 subs is going to make a big difference next season. Now, I feel like a lot of people are forgetting this. Mid-game, it allows the bigger teams and the teams with the bigger squads to make that bigger impact and change how they're playing in that game. Arsenal will have that issue with squad depth.
What I will also say is I feel like, and it's funny, like a lot of people say, oh yeah, and look, rightfully so, we deserve to be bantered, we didn't get top 4. But the fact that we also have Europa League does play into our favour, unfortunately, for some of the fans, because we are playing teams that are going to be not actually at the level. So we're not going to be playing these top later players every single week, Thursday and Sunday. So I feel like that does actually have some slight advantage to us. That. Now, again, I'm not saying that's a good thing.
Can I ask a question on that? Ready to interject? Yeah. Last season, we were all told by Arsenal fans the reason you were going to make top 4 is because you were only playing 1 game a week. Yeah. Now the narrative is, and again, sorry to be like overly logical. If it's banter, tell me it was banter. But now playing 2 games a week is better for you than 1 game a week. Why is that different this year compared to last year?
Well, people that said that, I genuinely don't. I can't speak on behalf of them. I can't say that yet. But what I will say is, people that did believe that, again, I've thought that we had a better chance. I will agree with that. I did think we have a better chance, and part of it is down to the manager. And again, I'm not here to say Arteta in or Arteta out. I've already said what I think on Arteta. I do think that is part of the learning process as well. And again, this is why I come back to the whole Eric Ten Hag thing. Why is it that people think that he's going to come in and do amazing things? Because he has got to have that learning and bedding in period. Same way how everyone, because if you think about it, the reason why people put Spurs into a higher position is only because of the manager. It's not to do with the squad, in my opinion. I think it's just because the manager is the equalizer to get them into those.
And
top
we have
three.
An attack that is of the level of the best, one of the best attacks.
Yes, but if your squad, I don't think your squad is that great. And again, you're one injury away, in my opinion, from being in another precarious position.
World-class players.
No, we don't.
We have two world-class players that we can rely on.
You got one, and you got one very good player. Stop lying, please. You don't have two very good. You have one world-class player, and you have one very good player.
Sonny's world-class.
But anyway, so as for me, I'm looking at it and I'm saying, look, I think by pure default, not because Arteta is this amazing manager. I don't want to get it misconstrued for people to say, oh, I'm backing the manager, I'm deluded, yada, yada. As I said, I just don't think Chelsea are that amazing team. And I don't necessarily think that Spurs are this amazing team either. And look,
what happens next season then when you get, because I'm assuming the expectation for Arsenal next year is top four, or at least a challenge for top four and go far in the Europa League.
Yeah.
What happens come March when your squad's a little bit thinner, because you've got a couple of injuries, and your manager then has to focus on one competition? Do you expect him to focus on the Premier League or the Europa League? Because he's going to focus on one of them. He's going to
no. For me, that's not an excuse. For me, I feel like this season, and I think what plays a big factor into what I'm saying as well is Arteta has nowhere to turn. He has nowhere to hide. He has no excuses now. So he knows. I think what Arsenal, the board were doing before, is they weren't actually putting any parameters on Arteta. They weren't putting any kind of real levers to say, well, okay, this is what you need to do by the end of the season. This is what you need to do by a certain point in the season. I think this season is clear. We've spent, I think now under him, close to 500 million pounds. So I think he now knows he must get top four. And
if he couldn't do it when there was no pressure on him, why is he going to do it when there's immense pressure on him? I don't see how he's going to now do it when there's so much more pressure on him.
He's got Vieira and Jesus. He's got Vieira and Jesus. It's different, Tom.
No. But what I will say is, and give him credit, because again, I can say when he does something wrong, and I can say that when he deserves a little bit of credit. When he does get better players, and when he has got players that are fitting his system or whatever, how he wants to play, there is a difference. Rival fans might not see it, and you might not agree, but there was big streaks throughout the season last season where we were playing a lot better football, we were scoring a lot more goals, and it was when we had our first team. And again, I am saying a lot of with the chance that we do get more players. I think we need a wide forward, and we definitely need a centre mid to say that confidently we're going to get that top four, third place position. So currently, right now, I'm not as confident. But as I said to you, like what I will say.